Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian Weather Forecast. This is going to be another update here on the potential severe weather threat throughout next week. This is going to be potentially a multi-day threat. We can possibly see severe weather developing all the way as early as Tuesday and all the way up to Friday. We can be seeing severe weather. Looks like Wednesday and Thursday, on the other hand, will be the worst days, though. I have a new map and we have major new updates. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 2,204 subscribers. It really means a lot. Let's get to 2,250 by the end of today. I might have another tropical update later today, depending on the new updates and seeing if all the models agree still. But again, be sure to share the channel to any friends or family as well. Of course, we have extreme new updates on this potential severe weather outbreak threat. So we're going to keep monitoring this, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So this is my new map here, and I actually for those people who like see the Weather Channel colors, I actually just thought about using the Weather Channel colors for the risk since it is not extremely close. So I'm not going to use the SPC colors until it's really before day 3. So this is what I think the general risk will be throughout much of the week. So this is not just for one day. This is be for general, but who has the highest risk for severe weather for next week in general. So this is going to be a bit more widespread than you see with day 4, because we can possibly see severe weather all the way from Tuesday to Friday, and it's likely you can be seeing some multiple slight risk and maybe even an enhanced risk. I think we can definitely possibly have an enhanced risk, possibly for maybe even Thursday. This is going to be mainly for Thursday morning, because Thursday morning seems like we'll be seeing the worst severe weather as well for Wednesday night. So this is where I think we'll have the highest risk for severe weather in general for next week. So this is what I think. This is the area that I really want to focus on right here. I can tell it has that area at the 15% chance for severe weather. That this pink or this purple color does mean an enhanced risk here. So I think we can definitely possibly have an enhanced risk, and maybe, just maybe, we can have a moderate risk. But that's still a bit too far to say, of course, since it is still the worst day out, still 4 days away. But definitely we possibly see that really big severe weather threat for Wichita, Woodward, Lawton, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Salina, and other areas, much of Kansas and possibly western Oklahoma. And the darker shade of blue or the darker shade of red, we have possibly a slight risk. I think this is not, of course, this is not going to be a day. It's not going to be a certain day. This is going to be just in general for the week. So you can possibly have a slight risk in general for next week to see severe weather for Dallas, Joplin, Ardmore, also possibly just outside of Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas, however you want to say it, Gainesville, Fort Worth. You guys are in this potential slight risk for severe weather in general for next week. And then the light shade of blue or the light shade of red. This is where we have a possibly a marginal risk here. So we're going to be seeing a very small risk for this areas. Maybe even some of these areas might just see a general risk, but I think in general or just in for much of next week, we'll be seeing really a marginal risk for these areas, all the way from western Texas, where we had that risk all the way to Monday and Tuesday, to all the way to the Mississippi River for Friday. So this severe weather risk is going to continue to move eastward as we gradually move into the day. So this can possibly be the risk for Monday. This can be the risk for Tuesday. This can be Wednesday and Thursday, and then late Thursday and Friday right here. So as you can tell, it's going to gradually move eastward. This is why this risk is going all the way over here, because it's going to go all the way to Friday. So I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope this map helped. And now let's get into the models here. So this is what we have so far for day 4, and they actually have updated it. They now move this 50% chance more to the east, and I actually do agree with that. I do not think the areas in the panhandle of Texas and far southwestern Kansas were really going to get the worst of the risk. Obviously, they were potentially for a marginal slight risk, but I think the best risk for severe weather is definitely going to be right here. This is where we can possibly have this enhanced risk. I would not doubt it, because 50% chance usually means a slight to an enhanced risk, all depending on really the general risk. But here, that's going to be for much of Kansas, Oklahoma, and far northern Texas here. So this is where we have our area of focus, and very likely we can possibly have an enhanced risk here. And then we'll possibly have maybe even a slight risk, or maybe slight risk all the way coming to here, likely maybe, or maybe even a moderate risk, or most likely the slight risk will be just like right here. and then we'll also have the marginal risk here. But this is where we have our day 4. So as we now tomorrow we'll have it at day 3. So that's when we actually find out whether it's going to be an enhanced or slight. I think I wouldn't doubt if it comes out as a slight at first for tomorrow when it's its first update tomorrow. I wouldn't. I think it'll come out as slight risk, but I think by later, either tomorrow in the evening, I think that's when I have to update it to an enhanced risk. So I think we could definitely have an enhanced risk. So now let's go ahead and check out the new tropical tidbits update. So the general GFS model for tropical tidbits is just reloaded, and it's going to take a while to get to where we want. So we're going to go ahead and skip that for a second, but we're going to take a look at the NAM3KM model here for Tuesday and Wednesday. So like I said, really, well, even by Monday, we'll possibly have the severe weather. Like I said, we can be seeing some severe weather pop-up bands throughout the areas into the south central there. But as we now get into Tuesday in the morning, that's when things get a bit worse. We're going to be seeing really strong bands throughout general areas into northern and western Texas, even parts of Oklahoma. We'll be seeing a high pressure system here to maintain a less severe weather risk for the really south central and Ozarks. But as we now move from Tuesday later in the evening, we have a really bigger, a bit more of a widespread threat now for areas into western Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, and even part of Texas here. So that's where we possibly have that severe weather risk throughout Tuesday. And by Wednesday, the severe weather risk does now move to the west. And really, it won't be severe weather risk. It's generally just going to be some lighter rain with that high pressure system. But wait, we're going to be seeing some severe weather to develop right here on Wednesday. Here we have defined low pressure system. As we tell, we're going to be seeing that moisture developing there. So really Tuesday, of course, I'm not saying Tuesday is going to be a huge risk. I think Tuesday is going to be maintaining at a marginal risk. Because Tuesday's already at a marginal risk, so it's going to stay there. So Tuesday, we're going to be seeing the severe weather developing, but it's not going to be as bad as Wednesday. By Wednesday, really Wednesday in the kind of the afternoon, that's when we start to see these bands really developing a lot more. And you're going to see why later on. And you're about to see exactly why, because that's when that's going to be when the Cape values, that's going to be when all those ingredients come in place on Wednesday. So that's why we'll be seeing those stronger bands developing later on Tuesday. So here we have that high pressure system on Tuesday, going to bring in mainly just heavy rain, maybe a thunder or two throughout this central plains. But here we have a low pressure system to the northern Mexico. That's going to bring some very strong pop-up bands, linear bands throughout parts of New Mexico and Texas. Would not doubt they put a marginal risk for New Mexico. And then by later Tuesday, this risk does minimize a little bit more. So we're going to be seeing some small but not severe, not extremely severe bands throughout central Texas there. Not going to be too shabby. And then by later into Wednesday morning, we have a bit of a severe weather risk now into parts of northeastern Texas. That could possibly bring in some severe bands, of course, and then that threat is minimized throughout Wednesday. But as we now get later to Thursday, that's when these bands start to get a lot worse, and this is why I think we could definitely have an enhanced risk throughout these areas, and parts of central Oklahoma could possibly have a smaller severe weather risk throughout the areas into the Midwest, and then that severe weather risk will minimize by Friday or by Thursday in the afternoon, and by Friday we have another severe weather risk. So it's going to be a multi-day threat, and this is not going to be like 2 or 3 days. It's going to be possibly more than 4 days of severe weather. So this is going to be crazy here. So that's what we're seeing on tropical, on the pivotal weather. Now let's go ahead and check out all the Cape values and everything else. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Cape values. So really what Cape is like it's basically measuring like if there's a lot of ingredients and a lot of energy in the atmosphere to create thunderstorms here. So basically the higher the Cape values, the better the chance for severe weather development, because that means you're going to have all the ingredients like humidity, overday heating, in general just the energy in the atmosphere, moisture, and all of that there. So that's where we possibly have that severe that energy we're gonna have a bit more energy popping up or spiking up by Wednesday morning. Not extremely high numbers, some lower 2000s, high 1000s. So that's generally means some really small bands that aren't extremely severe. But as we now move more into Wednesday, this is when these numbers get a bit higher. So that possibly, depending on if these bands cap out, it basically means we can possibly see that severe weather risk or the potential for strong pop-up bands to develop will increase. Going to be seeing possibly some lower 3000s. But as we now get into Thursday morning, which seems to be our highest risk, that's where we're seeing these numbers for Cape values skyrocketing, getting into the lower 4000s. And as you can tell, we're going to be seeing extremely low cap. So does not look like we're going to be capping at all. So since since it's likely this won't cap out at all, that's gonna make this potential for severe weather to increase. So it's not like we're gonna have a lot of cap to stop the potential for development for thunderstorms. And as you can tell, potential hazard is tornadoes. And of course, we can't say the tornado's strength or size until the damage survey, but it seems like we could definitely be seeing some strong tornadoes, possibly EF3s, EF2s. Of course, you can't see that right now, but I'm just showing you that we have a possibility for some stronger tornadoes on this. And as we now move more into Thursday, that those numbers do die down, start to see that energy start to minimize. So it seems like Thursday morning is going to be at higher risk. And as we now move more into Thursday night and Friday morning, energy increases once again. That's where we'll be seeing that huge increase of severe weather now for the south central and part of the Midwest and Mississippi Valley. As you see, we're going to be seeing actually our highest numbers actually for Friday. Going to be seeing close to mid 5,000 or mid 4,000s. Tornado threat is our hazard. We will be seeing a bit stronger cap, but it's still weak. That's really negative or minus 68. That's still that's a bit stronger cap, but it's not enough to cap out, and or it's not enough to cap out and stop the really process for severe weather. So definitely, this is why we're monitoring this. Because it seems like this won't cap out, and we'll actually have general weak cap. So that severe weather risk will really go up a bit more, and that's why we can possibly see some really strong bands, and they will continue to strengthen as if we're going to have high cape and low cap, which is a perfect scenario for strong severe weather. Now, as we look at the SCP or supercell composite parameter, this is basically to measure the possibility or the general risk for seeing supercells, which produce, of course, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Really, anything higher than a 20 is considered high. We're going to be seeing already starting off the day on Wednesday morning. We're going to be seeing our highest number really at as 12, which is a decent chance for supercells. Really, Wednesday won't be a huge threat for supercells until we really get to Wednesday in the evening, and then Thursday morning. We're going to be seeing a huge number here, up to 38, which is almost a guaranteed risk for supercells. So it seems like parts of southern Oklahoma, we have a huge risk for tornadoes, some potentially strong tornadoes, but it seems like the cap is a lot stronger at 145. That's still considered really anything higher than 200 on cap, negative 200, is considered strong cap. So it's not too far from that strong cap. So it seems like it will get closer to capping out on Thursday, if anything. But as we now get more into Friday, and we'll start seeing these higher numbers here up to some teens. Marginal tornado risk, and that cap's extremely high. So seems like if it will cap out, it'll be Friday. So looking at Friday, we will be seeing some strong severe weather, but it seems like it could possibly cap out. And now for wind shear, of course, the higher the wind shear, the bigger the severe weather risk here. As you tell, by Tuesday, we're seeing like no shear whatsoever in the areas of potential development here. The most amount of shear will actually be to the north of this. So that's where we can possibly see some, probably not going to be seeing too much shear. And shear is really important for severe weather development, especially when you have a lot of shear. We will be seeing a bit more shear on kind of Wednesday. But really that most of the shear will be maintaining to the north. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. I will have, of course, another update tomorrow on this. But bye, guys.